Hi, I'm George with Efficient AC, Electric, and Plumbing in Austin, Texas. Today, I'm going to talk about do-it-yourself annual maintenance, simple steps to save money and extend lifespan, change your filters, and call Efficient AC. There, I'm done. Well, in seriousness, there's way more that you can do. But let's start with the filters. In your home, you likely have either 1-inch or 2-inch or 4-inch or 5-inch filters. The latter three are usually right next to the machine. Make sure you get a high-quality pleated filter and use those appropriately. 1-inch filters, please, at least every 90 days, if not 30, depending on your conditions. 2-inch filters, 3 to 6 months. 4 and 5-inch filters, 6 to 12 months. Do not have two sets of filters. In other words, don't have a filter in the filter rack that's on the wall or on the ceiling and one next to the machine. It's either or. If you have one next to the machine, leave the other rack empty. The next step is clearing drains. Make sure your condensate drains are clear. There's two ways to really clear these. One is by applying pressure to the condensate drain line, and that's where the P-trap is, on the end where the indoor unit is. Remember, the pressure needs to go down the drain, so you'll have to cap off the back part of that drain going into the machine. That is a little risky and not my favorite because that pressure can also loosen drain lines if they're not glued together right, sometimes in walls. The other way to do it is from the other end, either where it stems to the outdoors or maybe to a Y-piece that's underneath your sink. You'll have to find it. If you take that Y-piece apart and clean it and use a shop vac and suck anything out of the drain line, that's a good way to clean it. If it drains to outside, you can apply that suction directly to that drain line that is stemming into your flower bed or onto your lawn or wherever that goes. Again, that's drain cleaning, very important. At least once a year or maybe twice for older drains. Also on the drains, you can add chemicals. Now, I know people say, pour bleach. I personally don't like bleach. Bleach corrodes metal. And if the vapors get back into the machine, you have these sensitive coils, you can have problems. We like to use Pantabs. You can find them on Amazon. There are various brands. You can drop the tablet into the drain line through the vent, but if you do that, break it up in pieces and put it in there. You don't want that tablet clogging up the drain line hole. Ideally, put that tablet inside the machine along the path of where the water goes and let that water over time carry that anti-growth chemical through the system. Finally, wash out the outdoor condensing unit. Do it with a garden hose. Don't use a pressure washer. Just use normal pressure through your condensing coils from ideally the inside. Now, this is where it gets complicated. If you do it from the outside, especially if you have hail guards on that system, you'll see that it's hard to get through the coil. If you do it from the inside, this is reverse of the direction that the dirt enters, so you're going to shove the dirt back out, which is great. In order to do that, you have to disconnect the power to the system on the wall. You have to take the screws out and gently set the whole fan assembly aside. You don't have to unplug it usually, but make sure it doesn't damage the wiring. And then you can get to the inside of the system and in a circular pattern go through that condensing unit until you're at the bottom. It is a little more complicated, but many homeowners find that they can do this. Or you can call an HVAC service company to run through their checklist at least once a year or two and supplement whatever maintenance you're doing. Again, there's a lot that you can do yourself, and only you will be able to tell what you're comfortable with out of this list. My goal in this video was to give you an efficient answer to your AC questions. If you have other questions, please leave them in the comments below and we'll get back to you. If you're in Central Texas, you can call us to schedule an appointment. Bye now.